Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homeridge Studio. Today I'm going to craft up some spring tiered tray pieces, and this video is part of a collaboration called 5 Under 5, and the theme this month is Spring or Easter Tiered Tray, which I will tell you about shortly, but first let's just go make something. Here's the first piece, and here's what I have. I thrifted this. I'm sure it was part of a light fixture. It was $1.99. I cleaned it up, took the sticker off, and turned it upside down because we're going to make a cloche. I have a little round wood piece here. I have some antique Waverly wax. I have this little bunny and some Spanish moss, some greenery, thin yellow ribbon, and these little eggs I made out of air dry clay. So I'm going to take the antique wax and I'm going to cover the top and the bottom and the sides, one good coat. And then I take a baby wipe and I wipe it all off. Well, not all of it, but you know what I mean. As much as you want. I just wanted to stain it kind of lightly. And then I took the Spanish moss and I kind of rolled it up and then pushed my finger in my thumb in the middle of it and made kind of like a little bird's nest. And I put a little dollop of hot glue on that wood piece so that would stick on there. And then now I'm trimming it so I can put that little cloche piece on top. I put the eggs in there. And I just set the cloche on top. And now I have some of this ribbon. I'm just going to make a shoelace bow. Just a little tiny one. And then I just hot glue it on top. That is it. Super simple, super easy, and only a couple bucks. Okay, number 2. Okay, here's what you need to make that. I have 6 of these cubes from the Dollar Tree. I have these letters from the Dollar Tree and a little block here for the stamp. And now I've used these already. I have 2 packs of them and I cut them up. You don't need to cut them. Someone else told me, I think it's Joanna from Joanna's DIYs, you can just fold them, so don't cut them, because when you cut them then they start sticking and then they get messy and then they get lost, and yeah. But I also have the truffle chalk paint as well as the plaster chalk paint. And so all 6 of these cubes I'm going to give 1 coat of the plaster chalk paint. And then now I'm going to just speckle them. I have the truffle chalk paint. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. You don't want it really runny, but you don't want it thick either, because this won't work if it's too thick. And I just put some on the brush, and now I'm just tapping the brush with another brush, and I'm doing all of the sides. Be careful what you wear. Wear an apron, protect your area, because I was splattered. My arms and everything was splattered with this. Anyway, real quick here. Today is the 5 Under $5 collaboration, and we're crafting up some tiered tray pieces, and maybe even some of you, the participants, will be making tiered trays too. I would like to thank the very talented host and guest host today, Emily with Farm Charm Chic, and the guest host is Amy with the Singing Crafty Crafter. And if you already haven't, take a second and go check out their channels. You won't be disappointed, I promise. And I made it easy for you because I put their channel links in my description box below this video, as well as a playlist for tons of ideas and inspiration. Okay, so now after these are dried, I just spelling spring, so I'm just putting an S on one block and then PRING. You guys get it. And so I have this little stamp pad and I just put the letters on the block and I'm really eyeballing it. I'm not measuring it out or anything. The P is, I've used these letters before, and this P is really large. It just kind of looks weird, but what do you expect for Dollar Tree pieces? It works. It looks just fine. It's just unusually large. Anyway, then I distressed them, the whole piece, or all 5 of them, and that's it. Now here's my next piece. I have this little teeny cutting board. I thrifted this off of a candle and I did something else with the other piece and I just threw that in my stash. I have these carrots, some jute, another block, and then these stampers are from the Dollar Tree as well. They're borders, some truffle chalk paint and some plaster chalk paint. And I'm going to paint this whole entire piece truffle brown. The top, the bottoms, the sides, and the back. Now I have a dry brush and I'm going to go over this first kind of medium, and then as I like it I get heavier and heavier. And a big thank you to all of my amazing subscribers. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're not subscribed and you like home decor on a budget, thrift flips, seasonal decor, and so much more, tap the subscribe button and the bell notification and you won't miss a thing. This is what helps my channel grow, and I appreciate all of you, all of your likes, your shares, your kind comments, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so as you can see, I distressed this really, really heavily because I'm going to put a stamp on it. So this is a border, but I'm going to put a border on the top and on the bottom, and I'm going to put the carrots in the middle of this. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. Just because these pieces are so tiny, if you're off a fraction of an inch, it's really not going to matter much. You really won't be able to tell. And that's what that looks like. Now, these carrots are from the Dollar Tree, and you know, the tops of them are pretty cheesy, so I clipped them off, and I'm going to put different greenery on them. But first, I'm going to take and glue them together. So 2 on the bottom and then 1 carrot on the top. I didn't put a lot of glue on here because, yeah, see the carrots. There was a glue string attached to my arm into the carrots. And every time I moved, the carrots would go flying. Anyway, so I just took some jute and wrapped it around the carrots. And then I took some of this greenery off the pick. It kind of reminded me of the top of a carrot. It looks kind of like a little fern a little bit. And I just threw 1 on each carrot, or glued it on each carrot. And now I'm just going to wrap the handle with some jute. Probably wrapped it around 4 or 5 times. And then I just put a little bow in the middle. And then I put a little dab of hot glue there to prevent it from unraveling. And now I'm going to glue the carrots right in the middle of this. And we are done. Number 4. This is a little birdhouse, and think it was last year that I painted it, and I put this lace from the Dollar Tree, or ribbon, or I don't know what you call it. It's from the Dollar Tree, and I glued it on top of the house. I was going to do something else. And I picked it out of my stash, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put this on my tiered tray. So I am just distressing it, just like the other piece, the little carrot cutting board. I just kind of did the same thing. I'm making this look aged. And then when I'm done with that, I just take some Spanish moss and I glue it on the front, not like in the bird hole, but on kind of on the front of the hole. I wanted it to look like it was kind of spilling out. And then I have some ivy. I have a bunch of ivy on the top of my cabinets, and actually not so much anymore. I threw a bunch of it in my stash. So that's kind of what I'm using. I'm putting some ivy in there, and then a little white flower, and that picks from the Dollar Tree, and that one's done. Number 5. I thrifted this cute little vase. It was $2.99. I just really liked it. It reminded me of that hobnail, and I wanted to paint it white, but then I thought, nope, this will look cute on the tiered tray. So I have some more Spanish moss and the jute, and then I have this lavender, these lavender picks from the Dollar Tree. I only used one. And I was kind of, this is my inspiration piece. This was the first piece I made, but this is the last piece I'm going to show you guys. But I was trying to match all the colors on the bunny. I wanted this to be very muted and just more natural looking and not as bright. Sometimes you can get really bright with the Easter colors, and I didn't want to do that because my kitchen table is more muted and there's more earth tones in it. Anyway, I was showing you there. Save those picks. Don't throw them out because you can use them. You can glue things onto them and use them as another pick. Anyway, back to this. I just poked the moss down in the bottom, and then I clipped off the little pieces, the flowers from the pick, and I clipped them off really long, and then I did have to adjust them because they were too long. But it's always best to clip them off as long as you can, and then you can always adjust them later. And that's what I always do. So I just tied the jute around here, and I'm just trimming down the ends. Now you can take and tie the jute around these flowers, or you can just leave them like I did. Just put them in there and bam, that one's done. Number 6. This was my inspiration piece. He's just kind of he's a shelf sitter. So I got these napkins from Home Goods, and they were $4.99, or Marshall's, I think. And I have these planks. These are from the Dollar Tree. I just took one and I took my little sander and sanded it down really well. And then I have Mod Podge, and I have the chalk paint in the color plaster. And I put a coat of plaster on the top and the sides and the bottom. And now I'm just taking this little napkin and taking the ply off. It's a 2-ply. And now I'm going to cut off the white part of it here as much as I can, doing a little fussy cut here. And then I'm done with that. After the paint is dry, I am putting a coat of Mod Podge on this. Then I put my bunny down there on top of that after that's all dry, the Mod Podge too. And then this is just parchment paper on top of it, and I'm ironing it with my heat press. And you know, if you watch my videos, I do this a lot. I love this. I love to work with napkins a lot. And now I'm just sanding it down, and now I have this Distress ink, and I think it's a color Vintage Photo, and I'm distressing this entire piece. I start lightly on the sides, and then I get darker and darker as I go. And that's it. And then I did add a little transfer butterfly on top of that because I thought it was plain and it was blue and it matched the little thing that he was holding, and I thought it was super cute. And yeah, these pieces are really simple and they're really quick to make, and very budget friendly. And you guys go to the thrift store. If you have a thrift store by you, don't look at the pieces for what they are. Envision something else, like the little light thing. Turn it upside down, it turns into a cute little cloche. And I love going to the thrift store, and I love looking for the $1.99 deals, or in their little, clearance bins where they just want to get rid of things. I pick through those things all the time, and I find some treasures. Not all the time, you got to go a lot, but yeah. And so I'm really happy with this tiered tray. You're going to have to let me know which one is your favorite piece and if you'll be making any of these. And yeah, don't forget to check out that playlist for tons of inspiration and tons of ideas. And check out the host channels. They're super talented. Like I said, you won't be disappointed. And that's all I have for you right now. So anyway, as you know, I will be back very, very soon. And until then, you have a blessed week. Bye.